Good afternoon, Black and Married with Kids. Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight on this wonderful Monday that I hope you guys are all having. Come join me for this conversation. My name is Ariel, and I'm the co-owner of Dunamis Women Enterprise with my mom, Dee Collins, where we guide women to faith through spiritual mentorship, prayer, and coaching so that they can experience healing within their soul and transform their life in relationships. And I want to thank Lamar and Ronnie for having me on this platform because tonight we're going to talk about relationship talk. And if you saw the title, it says the difference between a good man versus great man. And if you saw me last week, I broke down the difference between a good woman versus a great woman. So tonight, I'm going to come with you guys and break down the difference between a good man versus a great man. And I need everyone's participation with this, okay? So comment below where you're from. I want to be able to engage with you. Share this on your page. I need men to be commenting. I need women to be commenting. You guys know when I come on here, we always have some good comments and conversations. So please come on in and chat with me. Let me know where you're from down below. Hi, Tamara. How are you? Because we are really going to dive into this topic. Now, obviously, you see I am not a man. Hi, Felicia. How are you? So, how in the heck am I going to tell you guys the difference between a good man versus a great man? Well, I have had a lot of experience within my 28 young years of living with men of all different ages. And most people always say, Ariel, you're very mature for your age. Hi, Taisha. Hi from New York. How are you guys? They always sound very mature for my age, but I've always had great interviews and great conversations with men who shared their wisdom and shared their heart and shared their insight. So I'm going to share a little bit of what I have gotten with you all, but I need your participation down below if you're a woman or a man, because I want to know in this dialogue, do you feel like this is right? The difference between a good man versus a great man. So I'm going to break down 3 things, just like I did for the last live. And if you haven't saw the last live, when you get off of here, go and watch it for a good man a good woman versus a great woman. But I want to engage with you guys to know the difference, all right? Hi from Phoenix. Hi from Nevada, California. Thank you guys for joining me on here. Please comment below where you're from because we're going to talk about a good man versus a great man and what's the difference, all right? So if you're ready, comment below. I'm ready. If you have shared this, share it now because we are about to get down into the dialogue, and I have an amazing thing for you all if you stay with me to the end of great men that I'm going to share with you guys. Hey from ATL, how are you, T? Thank you for joining in with me, all right? So if you're ready, I need to see some readies. Comment below. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Because women, we want to know, where are the great men? If your husband is already in your life right now, you should be seeing him as a great man. And if you do not see him as a great man, that does not mean that the greatness is down on the inside of him. And if you're single, you're believing that God is going to send you a great man that's going to come into your life, because marriage is a beautiful thing. And that's why we're all liking this page, Black and Married with Kids, because we know marriage is beautiful. So I see readies. That means I'm going to get down into the gritty of this because you guys seem ready, all right? I hope you shared this, okay? I hope you shared this and follow directions. All right, so difference between a good man versus a great man. Y'all know I like y'all to take notes, so please take notes, all right? A good man is a man who thinks and operates and performs and does everything out of his head, okay? Men who are good do everything predominantly out of their head. They think with their big head and they think with their little head, or, you know, the one down there, okay? A lot of things that they operate is out of their head. And is there anything wrong with that? No. Men have powerful minds, okay? They're thinkers, they're strong-minded, they have very strong minds. And when you're operating out of your head down there, you're going off of your flesh of the things that you want, okay? And so, but what happens is that what I've learned from what people have told me is that, hey, how are you? Is that growing up, you know, men are always told not to cry, not to show their emotions, not to, you know, open up or really communicate. It's like to be strong. And so it allowed them to now just do a lot of things with their head in their hands, their head in their hands. They think with their head, they operate with their head. They know that I'm good at sex. They know that I'm good at working. So they do things with their head in their hands. And we know when a man puts his hands to work, it's a beautiful thing. I don't know if y'all ever saw a sexy black man working, but it is a amazing thing that it does to you as a woman, okay? However, there is more to a man than just his head and his hands and what he does and how he operates, okay? And as women, we like to think that men don't want to open up. We like to think that men, just need sex to survive, which they do need sex. However, there's a certain part of this man that we haven't necessarily tapped into, as some women have not. And as a wife, hopefully you have tapped into this aspect of your husband, okay? So a good man operates through his head and his hands, and that's all he feels that he's good at, okay? But a great man, hi Michaela, how are you? A great man, are you guys ready for this, okay? And comment below if you met a man who just really does everything out of his head. Like, he thinks a lot, he has a great mind, maybe he, is good with the women. I don't know. Comment below if you had, okay? But then there are certain type of man, which is a great man, who not only operates out of the things of his head and his mind and his hands, but he operates also out of his heart. And he's not afraid to tap into his heart. Because, see, the heart is a part of a man. The heart is there. Sometimes we as women think that men don't have hearts. They have hearts. But great men have become in tune with their heart, and they know how to tap into their heart based upon the women and the things that are around them. Now, does that mean that they are weak? No. That means that they know, or they found someone that they can trust to be able to share their heart with. They don't always have to operate or feel confident based upon the things that they put to their hands and their head and how they operate, but they're able to feel confident with a woman that they can be able to share their heart. And I say that with a key ingredient, with a woman that they can be able to share their heart. And most men honestly have the most purest hearts, and that's why we also need to learn how to guard our hearts, because sometimes men who did not guard their heart got damaged by women, and so it put them back into a place where I'm just going to operate out of my head and my hands, because a woman necessarily did not know how to guard and to protect this aspect of me as my heart, okay? But a great man knows that his heart is a part of him. He is not hard-hearted. He is not cold-hearted, but he knows that his heart is a part of him, okay? So if you're with me, comment below, say, Ariel, I'm still with you. If you are a man watching this, please let the ladies know if I'm right or wrong, okay? Because, like I said, I'm not a man. However, this is what a lot of men have told me, okay? So I'm just sharing this nitty-gritty news with you guys, okay? So that's one thing about a great man. A great man knows the power of his heart. And I'm not going to go into a meaning of what heart really means, but it has a deeper meaning to really what heart is. And really that means that the man is able to hear and be in tune with the Holy Spirit and what's going on with him on the inside. Okay? And so that's the most important thing. So the second thing, thank you guys for being with me. I see you all's comments. I hope you guys shared this. So the second thing, a good man does a lot of different things off of ideas. He's led in a lot of different ways, okay? He has a lot of ideas, and he's led, and he goes after things, and he jumps into things. This is what a good man does, because he's trying to provide, he's trying to support, he's trying to feel some sense of validity or some confidence in what he's doing. So he may, thrive and be led within his work. He may thrive and be led within, maybe his entrepreneurship. He's looking for things that he can be led in. And he has a lot of ideas. He has a lot of things on the inside of him that's going on in his mind, all right? Because like I said, the good man is operating out of his mind. He has a lot of ambitions. Thank you, Michelle. He has a lot of ambitions. And his mind is going on, so he has a lot of these ideas that he may not verbally express to you, but you see that. And that's why women, we see the potential within a man. Because we see this thing that this man has. We see this idea that this man has. We see this potential that this man has. We see how he can be a great leader, but he's being led in many different directions. And that's why men can be led up towards women, where they operate out of the little head they have. They can be led within their jobs, and they go after that. They just have a lot of ambitions and ideas, okay? And this may sound kind of complex, so stay with me. But a great man is solid within his identity. See, a great man doesn't have a lot of ideas, but he has identified what his purpose is in life, and he stays strong and firm on his identity and who he actually is. So when you're strong in your identity, you cannot be led in many different directions. I'm getting there, so hold on with me with that comment, okay? So when a great man has an identity, he now becomes the leader. He's not easily led by distractions. He's not easily led by women. He's not easily led by money or by things that look like fulfilling to his ideas or his ambitions, but he identifies who he is in his identity, and he says that I am a leader, and I'm now going to set a pathway for my wife and for my woman and my children and my legacy to follow, because I cannot be led in many different directions. I have to have a tunnel vision. Does this make sense to you guys? If this makes sense, comment below. I got it, okay? Because he can't have all these distractions. A great man has to be focused on the identity of who he is, what God put down on the inside of him, and he says that I'm going to be the leader. And it's really hard for women, for us to follow when a man is being led in many different directions. And that's why a lot of times we like to support him in his potential, but we feel that we're just being led along with him because all we're doing is we're going with him as he's finding this identity. And a lot of times this identity hasn't been found based upon the things that have happened within his childhood, whether it's his lack of father, whether it is lack of mothering, whether it is trying to prove a point to the world. He's allowing himself to be led in so many directions. But once a man identifies who he is, he now knows the direction that he's going to take the woman. Okay, so I'm glad you guys got this with me. So I'm going to recap again. And if you're just now joining here, obviously my name is Ariel. I'm the co-owner of Dunamis Women Enterprise, where we guide women of faith through spiritual mentorship, prayer, and coaching so they can experience healing within their soul and transform their life and relationships. And part of this healing of what I'm talking about is that you're able to see this, because see, I'm talking about a good man versus a great man, but all men have greatness on the inside of them. Let me be very clear on this, okay? All men have greatness on the inside of them. So there's nothing wrong with a good man, because like Tanya, you said, you're tapping into what lies dormant. So there's nothing wrong with a good man, because they all have greatness. But what you're doing is you're learning how to identify the difference. Because if you get so caught up in the potential of the great, you have high expectations, and you can eventually, out of your unhealed state, start tearing down a man because he's not living within his greatness. Does that make sense to you guys? And so this is why I tell people all the time, have standards, but do not have expectations, because your expectations are going to fail you. Your standards stand strong, but your expectations of what you expect someone to do can sometimes fail you, because not everyone is on the same process of where you necessarily are. And we expect men to operate out of their greatness, but we fail to realize that they're going through a process as well. And as women, we put too much pressure on them sometimes. Not that they can't handle the pressure, but we put too much pressure based upon our expectations and not based upon the process that God wants to take them through. Okay, so I hope you guys are following me with this. So what we said is a good man operates out of his head, operates out of his hands, but a great man has tapped into his heart. He's tapped into who he is, and he knows that his heart is a special place, and he knows how to guard his heart and protect it, because if it's damaged, it can affect him as a man and necessarily who he is. So he has to learn how to guard it and not just operate out of his head and his hands, okay? The second thing that we said is that a good man has a lot of ideas, and he's led in many different directions, but a great man has identified his identity, and he is a leader. Okay, so the third trait that I'm going to have and share with you guys, and this is so important, okay, is that a good man can get so comfortable with where he is that he does not continue to grow. Okay? A good man can get comfortable. He can get comfortable with operating out of his head. He can get comfortable with the same sexual routine. He can get comfortable with the same job. He can get comfortable with the same day-to-day habits. He can get comfortable with everything that goes on in his life. He can get comfortable with not fulfilling that vision or that dream, and he just stays comfortable because he's getting lost all in all this of what is required of him. So because all these expectations, because all these ideas, because all these things are so consumed, because he doesn't know how to share his heart, he just says, I'm going to get complacent and comfortable. And some women are okay with that because they just say, I like him comfortable. But see, there's a certain type of woman, like I talked about, a good woman versus a great woman, who says a great man is not comfortable, but he likes, just like I said for a great woman, a challenge. And he likes a challenge. He doesn't like women having expectations and you do this and do all this, but he likes a challenge. And there's a certain thing when it comes to challenging a man versus letting our alpha ego and our manliness of our woman side come out. See, sometimes we like to challenge men like we men. Okay? But this is a different type of challenge. It's a challenge to start identifying when he says these ideas. You're starting to see things within him, and you're starting to be strategic and skillful of knowing how to use your power that you possess as a great woman to now uplift him. Because see, here's the thing, women. A great man has a vision, he has a mission, and he has his identity. But see, what we expect men to do is we expect men to birth that. And men cannot give birth naturally nor spiritually. As women, we are in the position where we help a man by giving birth to the things that he necessarily has. And when I say that men want that challenge, they're looking at a woman because, see, when they see the power and the potential that you carry as a woman, as a great woman, they know the challenge that comes with you. And that's why a lot of men like to stay very comfortable, because they don't want to be challenged. But when they see the power that possessed in a woman, they say, I'm ready to be all that I can be, not only for myself, not only within my identity, but for the woman that God has placed into my life, for the family that God has placed into my life, for the vision that he has placed into my life. And I'm going to accept the challenge. And as he's going out into the world and he's operating within this challenge and he's moving and he's pushing and he's doing and he's going, you as a woman are birthing him in that process. You're saying, God, give him a stronger identity. God, give him a stronger sense of his heart. Allow me to be able to hear his heart and what he's doing as he is operating in his ability as a great man. If you guys are with me, comment below you're still with me, because see, this is why a lot of good men can't go over to the great man standpoint, because see, what they need is they need someone in their life that's going to help birth them. I didn't say baby them. I said birth them. And there's a difference between babying them and birthing them, okay? Because when you baby them, you like to do everything for them. But when you birth them, you stay in position, and sometimes you stay silent and you do what you need to do as a woman to be able to support him. Not necessarily from a financial standpoint, not necessarily from a sex standpoint, but what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to be able to nurture and protect and to pray over his heart. Okay? I hope you guys are with me right now. I see all the with me. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Tanya, so much for being with me right now. Okay? So this is the difference of what goes on between a good man versus a great man. And you all, so many men have shared with me their insight on what this process has been. But guess what? I don't want you guys to hear from me no longer. I have something amazing that I'm going to share with you guys, okay? At Dunamis Women Enterprise, we believe in our real awesome men. We believe in the power of our black men. And so we put together a free online conference called Good Man versus Great Man online conference that I want you to register for and get signed up and to get your seat. It's on October 27th, where we're going to have a host of great men who are going to come together to empower you within your love, your life, and your relationships. Because what we do is we're raising the voice of great men to speak life into women and also empower other men as they take this journey of becoming great. Because see, we got to start getting this, you all. Because here's the thing. we may look at the world and think that the world is messed up, but men and women ain't going nowhere. And so at some point, we're going to have to learn how to start getting it right. So I'm going to give you the link for this conference. The link is bit. Can someone type this down below for me? bit.ly, all lowercase, bit.ly/Great Man 2018. bit.ly/Great Man 2018, all lowercase. And I want you all to go sign up and just put in your name and your email and register for this conference, because it's going to be October 27th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to hear from all these great men on what they have to say to equip you, to build you up, to help you heal in some of these areas, for you to understand how the mind of a great man operates, to hear his heart, to know how to position yourself not only naturally but spiritually and physically within his life. Thank you, Michaela, so much. You got the link right. That's the link that you're going to register. And we have amazing men that are going to be speakers that are going to empower you and pour into you. We have, y'all will know who we have on lineup. We have Hassani Pettiford, who is over the Couples Academy with his wife. We have Brian Heat coming. We have Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who wrote the book. What is the book? I got a little lost right now, okay? He had his amazing books out by Napoleon Hill. And so we have Dr. Dennis Kimbrough. We have Dondre Whitfield from Queen Sugar. You guys see Dr. Whitfield, which he's going to be honored at this event with the Real Awesome Man of the Year award. So this is an event we really want you to be a part of. We really want you to be able to come and to join us for this event, okay? So if you can be there, if you cannot be there with us, it's all online. So you ain't got to put on makeup. You ain't got to put on clothes. You ain't got to even brush your teeth if you don't want to. We don't know what you do. So you just join online and be with us for this event, and we're going to love to empower you for this conference, okay? So sign up for Good Man versus Great Man online conference, October 27th. Michaela, your lovely, amazing self, put the link down below for you guys to click on it, to go there and to get registered. Please, if you enjoyed this teaching, I know I was a little bit late from 6 o'clock, share this on your page right now, because so many women need to hear this. So many wives, so many single women who need to prepare themselves for the great man that God has for them, position themselves, and continue to uplift the great man that God has for them if that great man is already in your life, all right? So thank you, Tanya and Michaela, for being with me. I love you guys so very much. My mom is going to be on here tomorrow as well to give you guys some more nuggets and some information. Thank you, Lamar and Ronnie, for having me on here and be able to share this message with you guys. So I will see you at the conference. Go get registered. Text the link, bit.ly Great Man 2018, to all your friends, your girlfriends. Have a nice party. Y'all be there, because I'm telling y'all, we have a lot of fun, and we're giving tons of giveaways, all right? Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for everyone who's watching this. I love you guys, and I will see you all next Monday. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.